In my past life, my older brother chose the abusive woman who beat him every day while I chose the good wife he envied. On the day my brother and I were reborn and chose our wives, I realized I could hear people's thoughts. I heard my brother say, "This time I'm getting the good wife first." Then he anxiously pulled away the gentle wife I had married in my last life, and the abusive woman who beat him every day in his last life was left to me. I laughed. Did he really think the woman I married before was a decent person? Across the sofa sat two elegant women. One was Pei Wan, the eldest daughter of the Pei family, cold and distant. The other was Pei Tian, the younger Pei daughter, but she was illegitimate and gentle by nature. This life, I have to choose Pei Tian first. Why should Su Chen get so lucky? That abusive woman can go to him. A man's voice rang in my ears. It was my brother's voice. I looked at him, but he hadn't spoken. His eyes were just fixed straight on Pei Tian. "In a minute, I'm taking you from him." The voice came again. Only then did I realize I had not only been reborn, I could also hear people's thoughts. And judging from those two thoughts from Suze, he had been reborn too. Otherwise, he would never say that. Sure enough, the next second, he walked over, sat beside Pei Tian, and gazed at her affectionately. "Hi, I'm Suze. I like you." My dad suddenly spoke beside me. "Su Chen, since your brother has chosen Pei Tian, you'll marry Pei Wan." As soon as he said that, Susie's eyes filled with smugness. "This life, you can get beaten for me." In his last life, Susie married Pei Wan. She was a sharp businesswoman, always busy with work. People even said she was frigid. Susie tried to go to her many times, but each time he was thrown out, bruised, and swollen. In the end, because he never got Pei Wan pregnant, old Madame Pei decided something was wrong with his body and kicked him out. As for Pei Tian, the one I married, she didn't have much power in the Pei family, but it was enough for me to enjoy. Later, Pei Wan suddenly died from poisoning, and Pei Tian inherited the family company. My status in the Pei family shot up overnight. Suze was jealous. While I was out shopping, he drove into me and we died together. "Okay, Dad, I actually like Pei Wan too," I answered with a smile, then walked over and sat beside Pei Wan. I had to admit, this woman's presence was powerful. The moment I sat down, it felt like cold air wrapped around me. It made people afraid to speak. No wonder Suzy ended up so miserable because of her in his last life. I tried to hear Pei Tian's thoughts, but her mind was like a dead, silent lake without a single ripple. But the moment she smiled at Suze, I suddenly heard one sentence. "What a fascinating man." That voice was like a cold wind on a dark night. I shivered and instinctively grabbed Pei Wan's hand. Pei Wan's personality was as cold as ice, but her hand was surprisingly warm. She noticed my move and glanced over. I quickly let go. Luckily, she didn't say anything. Though this woman looked cold enough to scare people compared to Pei Tian, that snake hiding evil intentions, I actually felt safer with Pei Wan. In this life, I had to work hard, make money, and completely change my miserable fate from before. My wedding and Susie's were held on the same day, just like in the last life. Back then, Pei Wan didn't show up. Pei Tian, however, had everything ready early in the morning. Everyone praised her as such a good wife. Sure enough, it was the same this time. Pei Tian wore a white wedding dress and hooked her arm around Suze's. When they passed by me, Suze looked smug and said, "Little brother, why didn't Pei Wan come?" I just smiled calmly and replied, "That's none of your business. Worry about yourself." Those words hit him like a dull punch, and his face instantly darkened. "Keep laughing. Let's see if you can still laugh after she beats you." I heard him thinking that before he went on stage. It's still too early to say that. Who gets the last laugh is not so certain. Pei Wan didn't attend the wedding, just like in the last life. Suze and I were talked about at the ceremony, and everyone looked at us strangely. But Suze was even happier and couldn't wait to confess to Pei Tian. "I love you, Tian." Then he kissed her. After that, he stared at me, waiting to see me embarrass myself. But I wasn't stupid. I wasn't like him in the last life, storming out just because I was angry. That would only turn me and the Pei family into a joke in front of everyone. I picked up the microphone and smiled gently at the crowd. Wan has a very important business deal to handle today. I'll toast everyone for both of us later. I hope you don't mind. As soon as I said that, the whispers below stopped. Old Madame Pei, seated at the main table, gave me an approving look. The Pei family was powerful and cared most about reputation. On an occasion like this, a son-in-law had to stay composed and show real poise. Suzo also saw old Madame Pei's look, and a flash of irritation crossed his eyes. Disgusting. During the next part, I'll make sure you embarrass yourself. Being able to hear people's thoughts was really useful. It made everything so much easier. Then came the tea ceremony for the elders. I calmly walked toward old Madame Pei. Suzy stared at me the whole time, silently counting in his head. 3, 2, 1. The next second, I turned sideways to pick up the tea, while Suzy crashed headfirst to the ground, spilling tea all over himself. "Are you okay?" Pei Tian hurried to help him, but in her heart she complained, "What an idiot." Everyone turned to look. Old Madame Pei's face was full of anger. So reckless. Where is the dignity of a proper young master? "I'm sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to." Suza quickly apologized, but his eyes were full of resentment. Because of Susie's little scene, the wedding ended in a rush. Old Madame Pei never gave him a kind look again. But when she looked at me, her eyes were filled with satisfaction. She held my hand and said, "Su Chen, tonight I'll make sure Pei Wan comes back to keep you company." Sure enough, Pei Wan came back that night. She pushed the door open, looking exhausted. I quickly went up to greet her. A moment later, I came back to my senses. Looking at the cold-faced Pei Wan, I immediately had an idea. She had missed the wedding today, and outsiders were already gossiping. Suze was waiting to see me become a joke. If we didn't put on a show of marital harmony, life in the Pei family would be impossible for me. Wan, can I take 1 minute of your time? There's something I want to discuss with you. Pei Wan looked up with a barely noticeable trace of confusion in her voice. "What is it?" I spoke directly. "We're husband and wife in name now." You weren't at the wedding today, and there are already a lot of bad rumors outside. I want to take a photo with you, our fingers interlocked, and have you posted on your moments. Add the caption, Happy Newlywed Life. She sounded clearly confused. Take a photo and post it? Didn't we agree this was just a business marriage and we'd simply respect each other? I explained patiently. Exactly. That's why we need to make it look real. It's just a show for outsiders. One post can shut everyone up. It won't hurt either of us. You're just helping me act out one scene. I silently added in my heart, only by making this act convincing can I live in peace and completely avoid Susie's disastrous start from his last life. Peiwan quietly looked at me, as if judging whether my words were true. A few seconds later, she nodded lightly. Okay, I'll cooperate. I finally relaxed and immediately took out my phone, gently holding her hand. Her fingers were cool, but soft. I laced my fingers through hers, our palms touching. The pose looked natural and intimate. I adjusted the angle and pressed the shutter. Just like that, we had a clear, loving photo. Then I handed the photo to her. Please post it on your moments. Peiwan took the phone and opened her moments page. I glanced at it without thinking and froze. Her moments were completely clean without a single post. No life updates, no emotional rambling, empty like untouched snow. I sighed inwardly. This eldest Miss Pei's life really was nothing but work. Dull, boring, and without the slightest warmth of ordinary life. She didn't make any extra moves. She simply selected the photo and typed 4 simple words. Happy Newlywed Life. With one tap, it was posted. Looking at that sudden but eye-catching post of hers, I finally felt relieved. Good. The illusion of a harmonious marriage was finally established. Suzo wanted me to repeat his fate? Not in this lifetime. Peiwan put away her phone, looked at me, and asked, Is this enough? Yes, thanks for cooperating. I thanked her in a low voice. Late at night, Peiwan followed our earlier agreement and slept alone on the big bed. I lay down on the sofa in the bedroom. The room was so quiet I could hear the wind outside. I closed my eyes, ready to sleep, but I vaguely noticed movement in the bedroom. Peiwan turned lightly on the bed, the quilt rustling softly from time to time. Several times, she clearly stopped moving, as if she wanted to say something, but in the end, she swallowed it all back. I only thought she wasn't used to having another person in the room, so I didn't think much of it. I never noticed her gaze toward the sofa had changed, and what was hidden in that gaze would completely shatter all my peaceful plans after dawn.